This is Ole from Afsky, and you're listening to What's Metal.
We're in Tübingen tonight on a very special gig. So Spectral Wound played and Afsky. I'm sure I mispronounce it. Yeah,
That's almost correct. In Danish, we say Afsky.
Allskr. Yeah. Okay, I'll practice. My Danish is shit. Yeah, like my German and English. But as far as I understand, the meaning of that word is something like abomination, maybe, or maybe you can explain what
disgust. Yes, it's easier to. I think just for me, it's easier to explain what it means in Danish, because I'm not really sure what the English word would be. Like, of course, I can look it up in the dictionary, but it's a feeling that a disgust to the world and how it is and how you see it. So in Danish, I just think that word is a good word. It fits really good. Afsky is just, I have this aggression towards how things are.
So you channel that through the music?
So I channel that through the music. I mean, it's very personal, a lot of the songs, but I just have a lot of. The word is afmagt in Danish. I have no idea what the word is in English. You know, the frustration when you look at how people are exploiting each other and not behaving good to each other, not treating the world and nature good and stuff like that. Yeah. You get angry about that, but you can't really do anything about it because I'm just me. I cannot go out and save the world on my own. And not that I try to take all this on my shoulders, you know, but sometimes you just get this like, why can't everybody just be nice to each other? And having a fucking good time, you know. Life should be a party. So even though my music is not party at all, but that's the other side of it, because that's the feeling when you feel the frustration that you can't do anything. So, yeah.
So do I hear a bit of resignation in that as well, or is there is it more towards like hope for better times?
No, it's actually not hoping for better times. It's just feeling happy when you finally die, because then you don't have to be a part of it and see it anymore. So that is what the music is about. So that's not really a happy ending, you know. It's more like, you know, you can't do anything. You're just a small person in a big world. Yeah. That could be really awesome, but
So to what extent does that reflect you as a person?
I mean, I'm a very happy person in general, and I'm happy about my life and all the people that I got in my life. But I don't know. There's also another side to me that has an urge to make this music.
Yeah.
And not always just. I didn't make the music also not to necessarily tell people a story or a thing. It's more made, you know, for me. I just felt good making the music.
Yeah.
A good way to express my feelings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
So maybe we touch on that a bit more, because the way you talk to me right now, it's clear that it's your child in a way, right? It's the music, and as far as I can tell, it started out as like solo project is always meaning that it's not that important, but it's a solo endeavour that then developed towards a real band that is touring now, which I find sometimes a bit unusual in this black metal subgenre, which is typically called depressive black metal, because you have a lot of these one-man bedroom things that are kind of like thrown together in a few minutes. Yeah. So you're different, right?
Yeah, but that was also because, you know, the songs meant something to me, the first songs that I wrote. And there's a guy in Denmark who put up shows. And he asked me a couple of times, like, please, man, after I released the EP, he said, "Come on, man, can you put a band together and play some of the songs?" And at that time, I was not expecting it to be a live band at all, because I thought like, fuck, man, how we, yeah. Then I have to find a band. I have to write all the stuff down, because I just wrote the songs and recorded the music while I was writing them, basically. So then I tried and made a shout out to some guys and like, would you be interested in playing some of my songs live? And they said, yeah, sure, man, let's do it. And that's actually how it happened. Then we played the first gig, and yeah, other people contacted me and asked like if we would play again, and said, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Yeah. So, but for the full-length album, I mean, was that already recorded as a band, or did you do that on your own?
The full-length album I recorded. I wrote all the songs, recorded demos, made drums on computer, and then I gave it to a drummer who learned all the stuff, and then recorded the real drums for the album, and all the other stuff I recorded in my own home studio at home. Yeah.
Okay, so I have to admit that I'm listening to the band only since 3 days actually, right? Yeah. The reason for that is I saw that Spectral Wound were playing, and I got into that music, and I saw, okay, yeah, depressive black metal band is supporting, and I checked it online. Oh yeah, like a one-man project, and already at that point I said, oh yeah, I'm not interested, because there are like 1,000 of these. Yeah. And then okay, yeah, I'm going to the gig, so I should listen to it. And what I listened to, well, I mean, it fits the genre. I wouldn't call it necessarily depressive. For me, it's more like melancholic to me personally. Yeah. But I noticed that it sounds different in a way, yeah? So I don't know how to describe it, but it goes beyond like the typical one person can only express himself or herself through some shitty, crappy riffs, and the rest is kind of like drum computer added to it and so on. Yeah. And you even put in these more like these short acoustic interludes, or there's a folk touch in there as well. So maybe you can expand a little bit on that and on how that develops.
Yeah, I think that's also because I also play in another band where everything is more democratic. We decide what to do as a group. But these songs, when I wrote the first songs, it wasn't meant to be released at all. I just wrote the songs because it felt good to write the songs. And I think that also gave room just to put in some stuff that I just thought listened good. So that was really all for me, that I made it like, this is what I think sounds good. And then when I played it to people, there was a positive reaction. So, which of course encouraged me also to then release the songs. Yeah, I think that's the reason. But I also have there are a lot of different musical influences on the album, which are not metal at all. So I think that's also what then suddenly becomes, like this folk medieval intro that I have got on one of the songs. That I just like the sound of these instruments, and then I thought, okay, how can I put it into the music in some way? And then I tried to make this sound landscape with the burning fire, and so you get in the right mood for.
So I think it works very, very well, and it feels really fresh when listening to it. So it just like, it sticks out, and that's a good thing. So. Right now, I think you are working with Vendetta Records. Mm-hmm. I think they're either releasing the album, or they release the album and promoting it. Yeah. So how did that work out?
That's actually because I know the man from Vendetta, Stefan, through the other band. We have released some records through Vendetta before with my other band called Solbrud. And that's how I got to know that guy. And then at first I released the EP just on a CD, because I could afford. And then I talked to him at some point, and I asked like, don't do me a friend favor or anything, but do you maybe know anybody who would be interested in releasing the music? And then he said to me, come on, man, why don't you just ask? And I was like, I don't want to, because he had my other band on the label. So I didn't want to push it or anything, but he really wanted to release it. So that made me super happy. And so, yeah. So I stick to him, of course. Yeah.
So now you're on tour for the first time. How did that work out so far? From what I've heard from the Spectral Wound guys, they're pretty happy with how things are going.
Sure. Yeah, it's been super great so far. The other guys are super nice. You never know when you go on tour with the band how the other guys are going to what they're going to be like, and you're stuck for them in 18 days. So could go either way, but they're super nice guys, and we have a lot of fun together. And all the shows has been also super good so far, I think. Even the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday shows, they can be a little bit hard, not so many people showing up, but has still been super awesome.
Okay, good.
A lot of people at all the shows, so definitely good.
So we don't have so much time on the radio, so we have to keep it reasonably short. But you told me earlier that you used to live in Flensburg for a while, and your German is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
So what brought you there?
That was my parents who lived there in Flensburg. I am Danish, but grew up in the Danish community in Schleswig-Holstein, and that's where I learned German. So I stayed there for a lot of years. So yeah.
Do you have a German driving license? Do you have German penalty points in Flensburg?
I have a German driving license, actually, but no points.
Okay, so the show is called What's Metal? So what do you think is metal?
Oh, that's really hard to say. Actually, I think when you start naming things that are metal, then it becomes maybe not so metal after all. So I don't really know. But what is metal? Going to the forest, sitting out there, having a fire, being out in the nature, check out some animals. That's fucking metal.